You ever been in a fist fight?
Yeah, I've been in quite a few. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. It makes me laugh. I mean, I don't want to go down the
Oh, here we go.
I don't want to go down the DT route because it's buried and he can go and live in his cage. But that's not the scariest thing. Let me tell you that one.
Yes, I do, please.
So this was proper scary, and it involved knives and stuff like that. So I was out in a night in Dublin when I lived in Ireland, and obviously I'm an Englishman, so you always careful. But when you've had a few drinks, you get a bit brave.
Mm-hmm.
So there's three of us out. We've been to this club Fireworks, and we've come out, and then we're on the River Liffey, which is like straight through the middle of Dublin, and we're hungry, so we're going to this chip shop. And on the way in,
Can I just say, are you a YouTuber at this time, or are you at?
no.
Okay.
So this is probably about 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm in the chip shop. As we'd gone in, there's these three girls and this lad with her. And they start talking to one of the lads who's quite a good-looking lad. So me and the other mate just defeated. We walk in. They're only interested in him. I'm not a YouTuber yet. My time will come. You watch. Those looks, they'll be gone in 15 years, but I'll have 1 million subs. And anyway, my mate, we're queuing up. He goes outside, and I'm like, why has he gone out? He's butt ugly. They're not going to be interested in him. Anyway, the ugly mate starts arguing with the lad, who presumably feels a bit threatened because the three girls are now talking to my other mate, who's quite good looking. Next thing I know, good looking mate chins their lad on the floor, and then my ugly mate gives him a kick on the floor. Which actually, I will say, I hate people who kick people on the floor.
Yeah.
Kick to the head, but he kicked him on the arse.
Okay.
Which would have been fine if he needed to kick up the arse in life, but realistically, he still kicked him on the floor. So I come out and I go, what the hell are you doing? What the hell? These girls are now trying to start a fight. You don't want to start fighting with a girl. And then the next thing, the lad who's been punched stands up and shouts down to a group down the road. In real, I can't even do an Irish accent from Dublin, but proper bad.
Yeah.
And the next thing, there's these 5 lads from about 20 metres away running towards us. So we start sprinting away into the back arse of like Dublin, where it's all quite rough, like all around Henry Street. People will know.
Are you familiar with where you're going?
Well, I had lived there for a couple of years, but I'm
okay.
running into an area where these lads, I think, they're sort of not gaining on us, running at a decent speed. And then the ugly lad who's with us, I don't mind calling him that because I don't want to give their real name. He goes, I tell you what, that lad we chinned, he looks like one of those lads who's been going around stabbing people, these gangs. Oh, tell me that now. Why didn't you think about that before? Well, like when you're running and then suddenly you feel quite tired and, on these computer games, you get a nitro boost. I'm suddenly like, Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm absolutely sprinting it away. And we're being chased around and all you can hear is these chavs, basically. That's what we call them in Ireland. And they're shouting, you're going to get this, we're going to shank you, which I don't think it was shank in Ireland. I think they had their own word for it, but basically I think...
Shiv, maybe?
Yeah, we're going to stab you, basically.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I firmly believed that was going to happen. And I felt that, I wasn't as fit as I could have been in those days, but I would have ran all night, basically.
Really?
Yeah, I would have done. Anyway, we lose them, and I always look back at it and think, why didn't we get in a taxi? Because we've got loads of money. And we're like, let's walk back into town to get some food and then we'll get a taxi. And it's like loads of taxis going past us. And I'm like, yeah, I am quite hungry. But I was wearing this jacket, this light grey jacket. It was very distinctive. It was like UPVs. It's the sort of crap you used to get from River Island in like the early noughties.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why I was wearing it because my complexion in Ireland, I haven't got a great complexion now, but in Ireland, I probably look like a cloud with that on. And I was like, I'm going to get rid of this jacket. And my mate's like, the ugly mate, he'll take anything. He's like, no, I'll wear it. And I'm like, no, I'm getting rid of it because I'm so distinctive in this jacket. I'm gonna throw it. And he puts it on. So we go and get some chips, and then we're walking about 10 minutes later, and I'm hanging back, and these lads come round a corner, and the 2 lads start sprinting off, and all these other lads chase them. And literally, I'm eating my chips. I'm sort of like a rabbit in the headlights.
Have you got away with it because they don't recognise you?
Well, they just run past me.
Right.
Everyone runs past me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got away with that. So I eat my chips and I get the taxi home, and I never saw those 2 lads again. Or joking. No, I did. I did. But I was just like, I did. It was sort of the days where you did have mobile phones, but it wasn't like WhatsApp and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until the next day. But I must admit, those chips were really nice. Got in a taxi, went home. Woke up the next day, rang them up, and we went down the pub and watched the match. But,
Silver linings.
I tell you what, it probably doesn't sound that scary, but I was
it does sound
absolutely
terrifying.
shitting myself
Yeah.
when I was running, because we were running into an area that I was like, they might be on the phone to get somebody from the other area. Irish people are quite well organised when they want to be.
Yeah.
When they want to
That
be.
should take away from that, is it?
Yeah. And I was like, they would have.
Do you reckon they would?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the 2 lads I was with had chinned their mate and kicked him on the floor. So they were, you know, and these are the mean streets of Dublin. They're not just going to give us a slap about. And of course, as soon as I open my gob, which I would have tried not to,
Yeah.
but when they're kicking me, I would have been trying to do an Irish accent. Oh, but Jesus, don't be doing that again. Because the minute they hear I'm English, I'm going to get it twice as hard.
Yeah. You ever been in a fist fight?
Yeah, I've been in quite a few. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. It makes me laugh. I mean, I don't want to go down.
Oh, here we go.
I don't want to go down the DT route because it's buried and you know he can go and live in his cage. But the point I want to make is when he said to me, "Well, Mark's not a fighter," I'm like, "Well, I'm not. I don't like violence, but." To think that I'm not a fighter is stupid because I've been in loads of fights. And when I was in the police, you're trained to take people down 3 times your size. So I'd be probably more of a holds person, take down, and put them in an arm lock than punch somebody these days.
How can they train you to take someone down 3 times your size? Because surely that's a strength thing.
It's a technique thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
is
all
it?
about weak points and grabbing people. And
So how would you take True Geordie down?
Is that my next beef? Is it? I'd imagine one punch to the chin and I'd drop it. you know these big people. They've got a weak spot. It's like these baddies on Sonic or something like that, or Mario. You just one punch. Nah, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't want to. I'd try and talk him down. I'd be like,
Right.
Brian, calm down. Calm down. Let's go to the gym. But no. I mean, look, this
What
certain
are the
people. I
tactics
ain't
they
never going to
use?
take Mike Tyson down. I'm never going to take someone like Brian down. I'm never going to take somebody who knows what they're doing down.
Yeah.
And a lot of lads do know what they're doing these days. I mean, people live in the gym, don't they? They're all about MMA and all that crap. But no, basically, a lot
You're
of it
such
is
a boomer.
about the stance. You know, I can't remember what they used to call it. It's the spear technique. So it's all about having your arms in certain positions. Like your arm is not very strong there, but it's strong there.
Is
Like,
it?
if you try and stop me from that angle, you'll do it. But I'll be really strong like that. They call it the spear technique. So someone's going to ever hit you, you want to extend your arm beyond 90, but not all the way. It's about like that. Your arm is locked the best. You're using your upper arm the best. You're locking that arm in there. So if someone ever tries to punch you or anything like that, you want to be locking your arm like that. And then grab it, twist it round, put them into an lock, kick them in the arse.
Wow.
Stamp on the fucking head.
Was it you who kicked the guy in the ass?
It was just me on my own. I'm like that woman again. I wasn't with anybody. I'd been out, got pissed on my own fish and chips.
Just took the grey jacket off, put it back on.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, obviously we found out from your first happy hour appearance that you was a cop and you just now mentioned that you went through that training. Do you think you could take Stevie down to the floor now?
No.
Really? I feel like you could.
Not in that stance. It'd be difficult because he's in a very when
No,
they're-
if he stood up.
Oh, if he stood up and he didn't know what was coming, yeah.
No, I'd back
Stevie,
him.
that
fully.
woman's behind you.
I'd be charging straight at you if that was the case.
Yep, man's.
So you can clarify your mates all right. They didn't get stabbed
Yeah,
by the
they're
Irish.
fine. They're absolutely fine. They
Did you
don't
fi-
like me now.
did you
we
find
had
out-
a fight a few weeks later after that.
Do you say they don't like you? That's because you kept calling him the ugly one.
My ugly mate. With that scar being so big, does that mean that you had cancerous cells in there then?
Yeah. I think if I'd left it, I probably wouldn't even be here now.
What?